Just over 3 weeks ago, Tanner Scott signed a 4-year, $72 million deal to join the Dodgers. He's coming off the best season of his career, 22 saves with a 1.75 ERA, and was named an All-Star for the first time in his 8-year career. He was traded at the deadline from the Marlins to the Padres before becoming a free agent in the fall. We sat down on Friday at Camelback Ranch. Now, let's get connected with Tanner Scott. Tanner Scott. A lot of people say that you are the Ohtani stopper. Yes. No. We're going to walk. You're going to walk us through why you've been so effective against your new teammate.
Man, I'm just glad to be his teammate. I don't have to face him anymore. So, no, I knew when I got traded over, I had to face him quite often. And I mean, it's always fun to face the best. And somehow it worked out in my favor. And I'm glad I'm his teammate now.
Yeah, you know what? It did work out in your favor because you have elite stuff. Now, listen, you have played in this division. You were at the Padres last year. They're an incredible team. How excited are you now to be joining this team with plenty of star power?
Oh, there's so many stars. It's great. I mean, everyone welcomed me with open arms, and I'm really looking forward to this year.
Last season, you had a great bullpen with the Padres. In my opinion, last season, heading into the postseason, you guys were the best bullpen. Now, as I look at the way the Dodgers are constructed, you being one of the leaders in that bullpen, how fun is it going to be for you and the rest of the bullpen guys knowing you guys got 3, 4, 5 capable closers, but also other elite arms that can get outs in big situations? I
mean, everyone in the bullpen's elite, and it's going to be exciting to see from the first pitch on, and it's exciting. I mean, getting to meet my new little family instead of a big family is awesome, and there's a lot of veteran arms in there, and it's going to be fun.
You know, I got a chance to play this game a little bit as a player. I remember when Manny was with the Dodgers years ago. On his bobblehead, he had a grand slam off the bench, and I was playing shortstop that night for the Reds, and I got a chance to see the raucous crowd at Dodger Stadium. I'm like, you know what? I would love to play here one day. Did you ever have that feeling? I know you had played for a couple other teams. Recently, the San Diego Padres said, you know what? Maybe if I get a chance to play in this environment, I would love that chance.
Oh, definitely. When we played them last year, it was that the whole atmosphere was just electric, and you feed off of it, and it makes you want to come here even more.
Talk about feeding off energy. You're wearing Dodger blue now.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. By the way, it looks great on you.
Thank you.
Okay, you're a good-looking guy. The beard is well kept. You're just staring at you is intimidating enough for me. I want you to kind of put yourself in the future right now. There's nothing like Dodger Stadium. But as a former player, I loved playing on the road. Walk us through, and are you anticipating a warm welcome for you down at Petco Park?
I'll probably definitely be booed. So it is what it is. I mean, I'm here now, and I just want to win. I want to win. It's the one thing everyone strives to do, and I mean, we have a really good chance of doing that again.
You know, I think it's so important. I know manager Dave Roberts has talked about it. You know, repeating is hard to do in any sport, especially in the sport of baseball. Guys like yourself, Blake Snell, how hungry are you guys to be able to taste that champagne after the World Series and hoist that trophy?
I mean, that's when you sign here, it's what you're looking forward to. I mean, it's what everyone wants to do, and they did it last year, and I want to be a part of it this year.
Talk about your relationship with Evan Phillips.
We're really good friends. We met in the Baltimore Orioles organization, and I was in his wedding, actually, so I was one of his groomsmen, so it was kind of cool.
Really?
So we're close.
Who's a better dancer, you or Evan?
Probably him. My feet are staying put.
Can you sing?
No.
You look like you can play the guitar and sing and do your thing.
No.
None of that.
No.
You know what? It's what I love about you. This 5-minute interview. You had that stoic look, that serious look, and you're all business, aren't you?
It's the eyebrows. I know. It's the eyebrows. No, I am all business. I mean, I want to win. I signed here for a reason. I hope we do it and for the next couple of years.
Tanner, welcome to the Dodgers. I appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you.
Tanner Scott, elite closer for your show, Dodgers.
Thank you.
You know, guys, Tanner was one of the huge bullpen pieces that the Dodgers added this offseason. What do you think he brings to this elite bullpen?
Well, certainly he brings experience. He brings a guy who's done it before. He knows how to close out games. You can certainly see his composure there. He's not afraid to talk to Jerry, not afraid to get out there in the 9th inning and close out a game. He knows the division. There's so many boxes that he checks, and he's hungry to win a championship. He's a veteran who's going to come in, been through it, done it, and he's going to come in and add a great left-handed arm to this bullpen, and he can serve in many roles, whether it's a setup man or a closer.
Yeah, he wasn't the closer at the end of last season for the San Diego Padres. Robert Suarez was, and seeing Tanner Scott make that adjustment after coming to San Diego in that trade with the Marlins tells me that this is an adaptable guy. He can be an all-star closer, and he's willing to accept a role that will help the team. Dave Roberts has come out and said Tanner Scott will be our primary closer to begin the season, so I'm expecting him to rack up saves from the outset. I can't remember the last time the Dodgers had a left-handed closer. Not too many of those out there. It's going to be a special thing to see.
He kind of has some Billy Wagner in him. Excuse me, Hall of Famer Billy Wagner. Guys, trust me, this is the second time I've sat down and kind of talked to him. He's extremely intimidated, and I was in a suit. I could only imagine being in the batter's box because he's got incredible stuff. Now, the other reliever, Kirby Yates from the Strangers. What's his role going to be? Because he's coming off a great season of last season.
Yeah, this is a guy who, like Tanner Scott, has pitched in multiple roles in relief and basically thrived in all of them. Kirby Yates is a guy who can get 3 outs in the 6th, 7th, 8th, or 9th inning, depending on the situation. What I really like about Kirby Yates is that this is a guy who has thrived in this era of relief pitchers who basically throw a 100-mile-per-hour fastball plus a slider without a 100-mile-per-hour fastball or that dominant slider. This guy has his own makeup. He's not the fastest pitcher on the planet. He's not going to blow you away, but he still gets strikeouts. He still gets outs. He still is one of the most clutch relief pitchers in the game. Top 5 in wins probability added last year. I'm really excited to see what Kirby Yates does. I expect he'll get some saves along the way as well. Just won't begin the season as the primary closer.
You talk about an embarrassment of riches that Dave Roberts and Mark Pryor have in this bullpen. To have a left-hander in Scott with 22 saves a year ago, and then to bring in Kirby Yates, who had 33 saves and a 1.17 ERA in 61 games in the AL West. I mean, left-handed Scott, right-handed Yates. You can go to other relievers. Let's not forget about Blake Trinan still down there, the back end of the bullpen. It is embarrassing how much talent is down there.
And you got 2 relievers that cannot wait to hoist that trophy. I tell you what, these guys are studs. Coming up, Chris Taylor has been one of our favorite players over the years, without a doubt. Why is this the most important camp for him, hopefully, not just with the Dodgers, but really to extend his career? Plus, the most important piece of the pitching staff, this guy's, yes, can it be him? Blake Snell. We will discuss Blake Snell and the upcoming season when we come back. Cactus League play gets underway this week. The first of 20 games in Arizona is Thursday when the Dodgers host the Chicago Cubs at noon. As usual, every single Cactus League game can be seen right here on Sports.LA. Then join us for post-game highlights and reactions on Access. It's always fun to see the regulars get some at-bats, throw some pitches, and then see the prospects get their chance to shine at camp. Cactus League play begins on Thursday. All right, guys, I know we talked about this a little earlier, but let's discuss the players that have the most improved this spring. You know what? I'm going to start with a position player I love, CT3. I know the last couple years haven't really gone his way, didn't really get a whole lot of playing time. I know the strikeouts have been an issue. He's worked hard this offseason to cut down on the strikeouts. I'm hoping he has a great camp.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Dustin May as far as starting pitching is concerned, Jay, here. Dustin May, still only 27 years old. Just haven't seen enough of him in the last few years because of the injuries. 21 to 23, he's made just 20 starts. Hoped to come back last year. They had the esophagus issue. 9 starts in 2023, was 4-1 with a 2.63 ERA before the arm gave out in that game against the Twins. He has got a lot of motivation to come back and prove to people that he can be the Dustin May from a few years ago where he was just absolutely nasty.
Yeah, guys, we were talking about the difference between different sliders and sweepers and slurves. Evan Phillips' sweeper is a special weapon out of this bullpen. A year ago at this time, we were talking how many saves is this guy going to rack up? Well, now, Evan Phillips has a lot to prove. He has to prove, number one, that he can get back to being the guy who he was at the beginning of last season. And number two, if and when he gets past this shoulder injury, that is not going to hinder him in 2025. I think Evan Phillips has to prove that he can regain that role, not necessarily a closer, but just a valuable weapon out of Dave Roberts' bullpen who can use that sweeper to great effect.
Now let's look ahead. The most important player as the season begins. I'll start with the position player, Will Smith. Listen, we know Will Smith has been an all-star. He's America's catcher. But for some reason, the last couple second halves of season, he has really struggled with the bat. If this guy turns on in the second half the way he's hit in the first half the last couple seasons, he could have a tremendous impact on this lineup. We know about the Big Show. We know about Mookie, Fab Five Freddy, obviously Teoscar Hernandez. You put Will Smith, his offensive production, to go along with leading this pitching staff, who's done a great job also throwing out runners. He's done outstanding at that. But with the bat, we got to get Will Smith. Maybe it's the diet. Maybe he continues his strength. Because if he has a monster second half with the bat, this team is going to be near impossible to beat.
No doubt. I think the most important starting pitcher for the Dodgers in 25 is Blake Snell. He's certainly been one of the best pitchers in baseball the last few years with the Cy Youngs. But now he's got a home, guys, here in L.A. He signs the 5-year deal. He said it himself. He can sink his roots now into this organization. And one of the things he's done, we talked about it, Bobby Miller, and working with that young right-hander and navigating a spring with him. But also, every day he takes the ball. We know what he's going to give you. He's going to go out and compete. He's going to be a bulldog out there, and he's going to give you everything when he's on the mound. And I think that is going to be something other players feed off of. Clayton Kershaw is an older veteran. He was that guy that every 5 days you knew could be a losing streak stopper. Blake Snell is that guy right now for the Dodgers.
I like it. I'm excited to see what he can do this season. You know, Blake Snell is the lone lefty out of that rotation. Alex Vesia is the lefty to watch out of the bullpen. I think he is the most important relief pitcher in the regular season because if Tanner Scott is your closer, Alex Vesia is your key lefty setup guy who can come in to get the other team's best left-handed hitter out, whether that's in the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. There is really nobody better at that job last season from the left side than Alex Vesia. And you think about it, if you've got Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Tyler Glasnow, Dustin May, Tony Gonsolin, Shohei Ohtani, and Hiroki Sasaki, that is 5 pretty excellent right-handers in your starting rotation. You bring in the lefty out of the bullpen to give them a different look. He can be terribly effective. He had an ERA under 2 last season, led the team in appearances. I am really looking for a big season for Alex Vesia to follow up on what he did last year.
What all these guys are itching to start the season. Can't wait. Up next, my spring conversation with Tony the Tiger. Yes, Tony Gonsolin is back. The Catman, itching to get back on the mound.
ドジャース、大谷翔平、二刀流復活のシーズンへ、走塁にも新たな戦略が導入される。皆さん、こんにちは。今年のドジャースは昨年以上に注目を集めること間違いなしです。その理由の一つが、間違いなく大谷翔平選手の存在です。昨シーズンはバッターに専念し、日本人選手として史上最多の59盗塁を記録。長打力だけでなく、驚異的なスピードも見せつけ、まさにリーグを席巻しました。しかし、今シーズンは二刀流が復活、投手としての役割が戻ってくることで、走塁戦略にも変化があるようです。今シーズンの大谷選手の盗塁数は、おそらく昨年ほど多くはならないと言われています。しかし、それには明確な理由があります。チームは162試合という長丁場を見据え、特にポストシーズンで万全の状態を保つことを最優先しています。そのため、走塁についても、これまでとは異なるアプローチが求められるのです。ウッドワード一塁コーチも、おそらく走塁に変化が出てくる。私たちはスマートでなければいけない。盗塁をすれば、体に大きな負担がかかる。去年は投げないことが分かっていたので、盗塁数を増やそうとした。本塁打も多かったけどね。身体的なことを話せば、毎日盗塁させることはベストなことではないから、と語り、今年の方針が昨年とは異なるものになることを示唆しています。特に新たな試みとして、走らない日を決める、というアイデアが上がっています。例えば、ナイトゲームに登板した翌日のデーゲームでは、疲労を考慮して無理に盗塁をしないというルールを設ける可能性があるそうです。もちろん、試合の展開次第では例外もあるでしょう。例えば、 9回同点の場面など、どうしても次の塁を狙わなければならない状況では、積極的に盗塁を仕掛けることも考えられます。しかし、昨シーズンのようにシーズンを通して無制限に走ることはなくなるかもしれません。ウッドワードコーチも、ナイトゲームに登板して、翌日のデーゲームで身体に負担をかけることは良くない。だから、例えば、9回同点の場面を除いて、走らない日を決めるかもしれない。走りたがっていることは分かっているけど、盗塁数は少し減るかもしれないね。共通認識を持たせるために、デーブ、ロバーツを含めて全員で話し合いをしながら決めていく、と語っており、チーム全体としても、大谷選手の体調管理を最優先に考えていることが分かります。また、走塁のスタイル自体にも変化が加えられるようです。その中でも特に注目されるのが、スライディングの改良です。昨シーズンまでの大谷選手は、左腕に体重をかける形でスライディングを行うことが多く、これが肩や手首、肘への負担となっていました。特に、彼が左腕でボールを投げる投手であることを考えれば、この負担は決して軽視できるものではありません。実際に過去にはスライディングが原因で肩を痛めたこともあり、これは二刀流としてシーズンを乗り切る上での大きな課題となっていました。そこで、今シーズンは、状態をよりまっすぐに保つ新しいスライディングフォームを取り入れる予定です。この変更により、左腕への負担を軽減し、怪我のリスクを減らすことができます。ウッドワードコーチも、スライディングをして肩を痛めたからね、左手首、肘を痛めることもある。状態をまっすぐにスライディングすることだ。間違いなく取り組むと思うよ、と語り、この改良がいかに重要であるかを強調しました。盗塁数自体は昨シーズンほど多くはならないかもしれませんが、それでもチームは20、30盗塁は達成できるだろう、と予想しています。この数字は、一見すると少なく感じるかもしれません。しかし、考えてみてください。これはあくまで、投手としてのプレーもこなしながらの盗塁数です。通常、投手がシーズンで数回盗塁するだけでも話題になるほど珍しいこと。それを20回、30回と決める可能性があるというのは、まさに異次元の成績です。さらに、盗塁数の減少がそのまま彼の影響力の低下を意味するわけではありません。むしろ、戦略的に走る場面を選ぶことで、より重要な局面での盗塁が増える可能性もあります。単に数を稼ぐのではなく、勝利に直結する形での盗塁が増えれば、より効果的な走塁が期待できるのではないでしょうか。今シーズン、大谷選手は、打つ、投げる、走るのすべてにおいて、より洗練されたプレーを見せてくれるはずです。盗塁数が減ると聞いて、少し残念に思った方もいるかもしれません。しかし、それは単なる制限ではなく、より合理的で、よりチームの勝利に貢献するための判断です。実際、大谷選手自身も昨年の春季キャンプでは走塁をテーマに掲げ、出塁した際のリードを大幅に改良するなど、自らのプレースタイルを進化させる努力を続けてきました。今年はそこにスライディングの改良が加わり、さらにスマートな走塁を見せてくれるでしょう。これから始まるシーズン、大谷選手がどのように進化し、どんなプレーを見せてくれるのか、ファンとしては期待が高まるばかりです。彼がドジャースをワールドシリーズ制覇へと導く存在になれるのか、一緒に見届けましょう。もしこの記事が面白いと思ったら、ぜひチャンネル登録と高評価をお願いします。これからも、大谷翔平選手の最新情報をどんどんお届けしていきますので、お楽しみに。